Hello everyone, I'm visiting my favorite port city of Marseille in southern France. Just got invited here to go look at the sunset over the viewport. Actually, this is one of the places I'm planning one of my vacation packages, so right now I'm just walking the entire place where I'm gonna bring everyone and like taking little videos. But I am here because I wanted to talk about the latest sort of efforts and attack which aren't going to work against black women. I've been doing this thing called like a Caucasian power series and supremacy to just say some of the tactics that they're using against each group. They're fighting a losing battle because they just simply won't be better people. And I wanted to tell you about the latest one. So now you're going to hear everyone goes, it's DEI, it's DEI. And that is directly against black women because they see that we are becoming more powerful. This all stems back to the fact that Caucasian males have gotten their women to be very biddable. They have created a society where if you speak up against them, you will be ostracized. And of course, we see some women bucking against that with a lot of strength, but in general, they've made it very easy to railroad them. That's why with all these issues with the people who want to become, men who want to be women, while they're not doing it in black sports, they're not doing it places where black people are, because we wouldn't stand for it. They're doing it in sports that are dominated by Caucasian women. That's very deliberate, and the men are doing that very deliberately to push that weird agenda. And so, so they can use the bathrooms and do their sports where they're, crushing them and dominating them. And they finally started acting back. But, it's just because, it's very strategically done in that community, not against black women. Why isn't it done against black women? Because as much as they've been trying to put us in our place, they know who they're dealing with. They know they're dealing with the blueprint. They know they're dealing with women who have the ability and power and fight to go back. So they have to do it in different ways, because coming directly against us, we have the power and influence to go, look, this is what's going on. So you have these people going after DEI and the Fearless Fund. That's one of their routes. And I wish some of you guys were more spiritual, because that's an attack and you should be attacking them spiritually. That's all I'm going to say. It can't just be one person aware of this. But I like to do in these power series just talk about, a lot of my spiritual gifts and ability has given me a lot of insight and power to be able to manifest and live the life I want or do the things I want. And when you have that level of power and the ability to, because of your spiritual gifts and ability, just have a level of power, then you start to understand other games that are going on that I simply did not see before I had these abilities. So when you wield it yourself, you can recognize it in other places. And so in every single community of what Caucasian Americans are implementing these strategies to try to retain power. In some, they've been pretty successful. Like I've told you with the Asian community, they literally use their own racism against them. And now you're going to consistently see they're not letting you in their schools. You're going to see less than you did before, because you are, if you are not necessary, because they'll use you if they need you. Like, Black American community is very aware of if your utility will bring you in, but outside of that, you are getting no extra chances. It is going to their legacy students. So they have to deal with that. The Hispanic community, and I even did the black and brown community. But black women, and this all stems back, they are playing different power games. So the DEI is the next one, and I want to tell you how you can combat that and not be scared, because it's gonna fail. But the fact that they're even trying it and they're being strategic about it. So right now you're gonna hear something happens, oh, it's DEI. Something happens, oh, it's diversity, equity, inclusion. So this is their new front of attack. So let's talk about, I'm not going to give you all the secrets because they listen, right? But I'll give you enough to not be worried and how we're going to handle it. So right now, DEI is a new boogeyman. That is directly against the black women, because they are not putting, the education and skill set does not lie in corporate America in the black man. It's in the black woman. The education, the skill set, the certifications. All those things needed to be qualified for these higher level C-suite positions that the diversity, equity, inclusion is going for is black women. Understand this goes back to Letitia James and Fannie Willis systematically demolishing Donald Trump, systematically not staying in their places, and not only not staying in their places, outsmarting them. Okay? It is their worst nightmare. They have worked so hard to create their own women to be biddable, but over here in this community, you have all these women my color who are showing to be smarter in some ways and faster and outdoing them, and they know it. They understand it. Even on the world stage, they understand what we're able to influence with our mind, our intellect, and our words, right? They understand it, but they can't be direct about it. So they're being backhanded. It's not all of them, but it's enough, right? So DEI is the next boogeyman because that's the black woman in these positions of power where a woman like Letitia James had the opportunity to go up against Trump and beat him. Fannie Willis is now in Georgia. They try to get her. Black girl magic. I know I got magic, so I can imagine y'all who don't even aware of it can naturally do. Going against her, try to get her kicked off the cake. Ain't happening. She's still prosecuting. I bet you she's going to win too. So you have all of these very powerful black women being the epitome going against this powerful Caucasian man, right? So when he keeps saying stuff like there's going to be a bloodbath, it's going to be violent, we're going to take our country back, just understand, black women, that they're realizing with who this good old boy networking game stops. With the mothers, okay? They understand that us in power means they can't be mediocre. They will be called out. The light will shine. Wrong deeds will be done. And we're not part of your good old boy network because you never invited us. So that doesn't exist. So your mediocrity can't continue. They know that. So now DEI wants to be thrown under the bus. So I'm on Twitter and I'm in all these spaces. Oh, it's DEI. They literally had a Boeing plane and they showed a Boeing plant and maintenance plan with 90, I saw not one minority, all white people. And they're still saying it's DEI. So it doesn't even make sense, but it's their narrative and it's the next attack. We can't have black women in positions of power because they're not going to put up with this. They're not keeping us there. They didn't make any alliances with us. And so that's where it's stemming from. And I love what Letitia's doing. I told you I did my own protection ritual for her. I hope you guys do the same for those that have been successful, because that does matter. It does make a difference. It does impact. But they're seeing that and they're just like, ooh, mother. Okay, they're just like, we are not having those women get in power. And so the smear campaigns. So right now it's DEI, and it's very funny. It's very easy to go around these people. So DEI is really only an issue in corporate America because in the government and government workings, they already have a huge diversity and inclusion, which is why Washington, D.C. was Chocolate City and so powerful. Like, it already has diversity. Like, you're not getting rid of it in the federal government. That's the one place where it's going to stay. So they're talking about in these other areas in private. So they're looking at corporations. They don't want all their... They just want to keep that lily white. So they're throwing DEI under the bus. But it's really easy to go around them, especially in the comment section. So as soon as they're like DEI, you know, it's just so easy to go, so let's talk about what they're doing and let's talk about why it's not going to work. First of all, just to combat it virtually, it's just easy to go, well, prove it. Racist lie. So prove where, you know, somebody did DEI hire and that it was diverse and that they were unqualified, and those unqualified individuals did this because we don't trust racists. So please provide that, because racists lie. The mental gymnastics you guys will do, you can literally see an all-white place and they'll say it's because of black people. There was like a video I saw, like it just shows you the mental illness of racism, and it was like a black guy was stopping another black person from stealing. They were like, it's embedded in these people. And even white folks were like, there's a black person stopping them. Will you stop? Like, the mental, like, it's so ingrained. They don't know how delusional and dumb they sound, which is to our advantage since they don't. So part of this is just going, okay, racist lies, so tell me the fact. Tell me where it was equity. Tell me where it was diversity. And tell me where they're not qualified. Because what they don't realize, what we all know, if I'm in that position, I'm twice as qualified and twice as good as you. You guys don't realize because of all the roadblocks. If I'm there, you better prove it. What I also would like black women in corporate America, you have to understand that you're the target right now. They don't, like, us in power means the game stops. All of it, they know that. What you need to be doing is documenting. Listen, I bought my first rental property. Now I'm comfortably retired in my early 40s because of that. First start 15 years ago, pursuing for racism. Document the activities. Know that you're a target. Know that these white men are saying they want this but want to do after. Show how they're treating other people. Write it down. Document dates and times. Even if they're treating you well, still document it, because it's going to come a time where that document, those notebooks will start to change in tone, okay? You have to know you're the target. So that's going to be, because, I don't know, I considered when I sued that company for racism, I considered that a form of reparations. So I was cool with it. You guys are going to pay in other ways. And the thing is, they haven't changed. They're still the same as they were before. So go ahead and make sure you're documenting in corporate America, especially, like, all of these instances. And so when it does happen, you're like, do whatever you want. I know I have a lawsuit. And what usually ends up happening, they don't want to go to court and have to prove and have you document all this stuff. So what eventually happens, they settle. I settled. It's cool. Just do it. So on the corporate front, you guys need to know that that is the next stage. That is how you protect yourself. On the social media front, just go, you know what? Prove it. Prove where it was diverse. Prove where they were unqualified. And prove where whatever you're doing the mental gymnastics for happened, or else it doesn't happen. Because you guys will say anything with absolutely no proof because you're deranged. Your mental illness is affecting you. Your programming is so bad, it's causing you to glitch, even in the obvious face of what it's not. You're glitching, you know? What they say, the metrics, you're glitching. And and the third part is, like, when it comes to the government, like the positions that both Fannie and the others, you know, those are elected positions. And with this world turning increasingly brown, as long, you know, like, they can keep fighting all they want, but these are their, you're not even going to touch that, right? So this is the new plan of attack against us, because us in power means the game stop. Keep doing what you're doing. Just make sure you know that this is the game being played, and that you are actively, knowing it's happening, documenting everything and responding back, knowing that it's their next play. And they'll come up with another one. These guys just don't stop. But when the mother's coming into her power, so keep trying. And also realize right now we're in this karmic cycle where you being racist has a direct loss of your job, your money, and income. Like I gave you an example. How many Caucasian contractors came to my house and didn't give me a good estimate, or just thought I couldn't pay for it, and the next day a minority contractor, this time a black one, got all of that paycheck, that $2,000, $3,000 paycheck. I'm selling my home, you know, and you know what I mean? And it's costing them jobs, it's costing them money, it's costing them their dignity. You know, every time you see a Karen now who's Caucasian, you're like, oh, another one? You do not get the benefit of the doubt at this point. We've seen too much. So all of these things where they're doing this is just costing them so much face and reputation and money and time, and they know it. So things might get more violent. Just understand that that's how these they're animals, not all of them, but the ones who are, they're violent. And so just understand that, you know, tread lightly or spiritually protect yourself, but it's costing them, and it's real-time karma. It's real time. You know, I'm looking at what's going on with Meghan and the royal family, and I'm just like, you guys had a choice, and you chose racism and kicked her out, which was dumb for everyone who was a minority. Knew it was a dumb move. And now you guys are suffering the consequences real time for the destruction and crumbling of this monarchy, where you had a choice to keep it going, but in a way that was more reflective of the changing population and changing power dynamics. And they chose that. Watch it get destroyed. It needs to be destroyed. It needs to be that tower card to be rebuilt in a better image. But they need to go through the process of the suffering and the consequences to really understand what they did, and how if it survives, it's not surprising with them. It might survive with the biracial princess, okay? So all of this is happening. Karma, racism has karmic effects very quickly, and I'm just so here for it. And just watch and learn that we're going to be paid reparations in different ways. So love you guys. I got to get going. We are going to my favorite restaurant that serves a really good duck pizza. It's like a duck pizza. It's like a pizza de fromage and canard. And with my friend. So love you guys. Bye.